Hey everyone, and welcome. So today, we're going to dive into what might be the most physical part of the cloud, the AWS Snow Family. It's all about how Amazon moves absolutely massive amounts of data without even touching the internet. Okay, let's kick things off with a real-world problem. Imagine your boss comes to you and says, we need to move 100 terabytes of data into AWS. I mean, that is a ton of data. Now, your first thought is probably, I'll just upload it, right, over the internet. But let's see how that actually works out in reality. And wow, the difference is just staggering. If you tried to push 100 terabytes over a pretty standard business internet connection, you'd be waiting for over 80 days. That's nearly 3 months of just watching a progress bar. But check this out. With an AWS Snowball, that same exact data could be safe and sound in the cloud in about a week, and that includes the shipping time. And that massive gap is precisely why the Snow family even exists. So how in the world does AWS get around this massive data traffic jam? Well, it's pretty clever. Instead of trying to make the internet connection wider, they just put the data on a truck. So let's meet the physical solution, the AWS Snow Family. So what is the Snow Family, really? At its heart, it's a collection of super rugged, super secure physical devices built for one thing: moving data. You use them when your network just can't keep up, maybe because the dataset is just too big, or your connection is too slow, or heck, maybe you don't have a connection at all. It's basically like AWS mailing you a hard drive, except it's a crazy big, incredibly sophisticated one. You know, the whole process is actually pretty straightforward. Okay, so step 1. You hop into the AWS console and order the device you need. Step 2. When that box shows up, you plug it into your local network and use their software to start copying all your data onto it. And then, for the final step, and this is pretty cool, the e-ink shipping label on the device automatically updates itself for the return trip. You just ship it back, and AWS handles the rest, uploading your data right into your S3 buckets, simple as that. So they call it the Snow Family for a reason. There's a whole lineup of these things, and they cover this huge spectrum of needs. Seriously, from a literal truckload of data all the way down to something you could toss in a backpack. First up, let's just go straight to the biggest one. And when I say big, I mean big. Meet the Snowmobile. And trust me, the name is not an exaggeration. Yeah, we're talking petabytes here. That's PB. A single snowmobile can haul up to 100 petabytes of data. Just to give you some scale, 1 petabyte is 1,000 terabytes. This is for an unbelievable amount of information. You're only bringing in the snowmobile for the absolute most extreme jobs. We're talking about migrating an entire data center or maybe a Hollywood studio's complete film library. I'm not kidding. AWS will literally drive a 45-foot-long shipping container on a truck right up to your location to get this done. Okay, let's come back down to earth from the petabyte scale. For most of us, for most big data transfer jobs, you're going to be looking at the real workhorse of the family, the classic Snowball. So here's a super important number to lock in, especially if you're studying for a certification. If you've got 10 terabytes or more that you need to move, that's when you should start thinking about a Snowball. Anything less, your internet connection is probably fine. But once you cross that 10 terabyte line, the physical route starts to make a whole lot of sense. The classic Snowball. It has one job, and it does it really, really well. It moves your data. It's just a secure box packed with hard drives. You copy data to it, ship it, and AWS uploads it from it. Now here's the key. It has no onboard processing power. It's just for storage. And that little detail is what sets it apart from our next family member. Okay, but what if you need to do more than just move the data? What if you need to process it, filter it, maybe analyze it before it even leaves your building? Well, for that, you need the smart box, the Snowball Edge. So the Snowball Edge, it still has that 10 terabyte plus capacity, but it comes with this massive bonus. It's got compute resources built right in. It's not just a dumb box for storage. It's basically a portable mini server. And this is a fantastic example of what we call edge computing, processing data right where it's being created. Think about it. Imagine a factory floor with thousands of IoT sensors just spitting out data constantly. You could use a Snowball Edge to collect all that, analyze it right there on site, and then only send the important results and insights back to AWS. It's perfect for remote locations or anywhere you need some local processing muscle. All right, so we've gone from a giant truck all the way down to something much, much smaller. Let's talk about the smallest, most portable member of the family. Meet the Snowcone, the rugged little traveler. Now, don't let its size fool you. This little thing really packs a punch. It can hold up to 14 terabytes of data. It weighs under 5 pounds. It's about the size of a yoga block. You could literally toss it in a backpack. The Snowcone is built for the edge of the edge. We're talking about places where you have nothing. No data center, maybe shaky power at best, and forget about a reliable internet connection. It's a military-grade device, perfect for first responders, remote industrial sites, or even military ops where you have to collect data in really tough conditions and get it back safely. Okay, so there you have it, the whole family. The giant snowmobile, the workhorse snowball, the smarty pants snowball edge, and the little traveler, the Snowcone. So the big question is, how do you pick the right one for the job? Let's walk through a quick guide. All right, this table here really breaks it down for us. You can see Snowmobile at the top for those crazy huge migrations. Then you've got Snowball and Snowball Edge. See how they're both for that 10 terabyte plus range? But the big difference is that compute column. That's the decider, yes or no. And then down at the bottom, Snowcone for when you need something small and tough. You know what? Let's make it even easier. Think of it like a quick decision tree. First question for you. Is your data over 10 petabytes? If the answer's yes, boom, Snowmobile. No contest. If not, next question. Is it over 10 terabytes? If it is, now you have to ask yourself, do I need local compute power? A yes means you want the Snowball Edge. A no means a standard Snowball will do just fine. And finally, if your main requirement is something small, tough, and super portable for harsh environments, the Snowcone is your answer. Okay, let's bring this all home and boil it down to the absolute must-know stuff. So if you're studying for a cert or you just want the cheat sheet version, pay close attention. So here's the bottom line, the absolute key takeaways. The Snow Family, that means physical, offline data transfer. Snowmobile, think massive scale. We're talking 10 petabytes and up. Snowball Edge, that's the one that gives you transfer plus compute. And Snowcone, that's your go-to for portable and rugged. That's really the heart of it. And you know, that really brings us to a final thought here. The Snow Family, especially devices like the Edge and the Snowcone, they do so much more than just move data around. They completely change where computing can even happen. So it really makes you think, right? With the power to collect and process data literally anywhere, what kind of amazing offline workload could you dream up to run at the edge? Thanks so much for joining me.